I fell for you, it found a sound. Love you deep while breaking down. You held his hand, I bit my tongue. Still stayed right here when I should have run. You call me when the nights got cold, cry on my shoulder, stories told. And I'd be there just out of view, the kind of love that never knew that I was waiting, holding back, drowning quiet in what we lacked. You saw a friend, I saw much more, but you were never keeping the score. And maybe that's the cruelest part, to give someone your broken heart, to hope that they might look and see what you already mean to me. One-sided love is soft and loud, screaming inside but never aloud. You looked at him like I dreamed of, while I stayed silent, stuck in love. One-sided love, it breaks you slow, holding on while letting go. You never asked for what I gave, but I gave it all anyway. One-sided love.
I wrote your name in songs unsung, held by tears on tip of tongue. You told me dreams that weren't of me, and I still smile so you feel free. I cheered for you through every win, while hoping you'd see where I've been. Just wants to be the one you choose, but love like this was made to lose. One-sided love, you never lied, you just didn't see that all this time all humped and made. And I still think you're worth the fall, even if you never loved me at all. One-sided love, it's deep and wide, built from moments you let slide, that gave you everything you'd love. Think you don't, that's love me all. One-sided love, you would never lose, but still chose you again and again, again and again. And this one-sided love, alarmed in shadows and night low slow, with all your aim to every flaw. You were the sun I stood beneath, that I burned quiet, clenched my teeth. You came to me with broken eyes, I stitched your hurt with lullabies. I heard your stories, late night pain, but never once did you ask my name. You talked of him like he's the one. I smiled and said I hope he comes, but deep inside I wore your weight, a secret love I couldn't break. I stayed right there through every fall, while you forgot I gave it all. You reached for hands that weren't mine, while I stayed loyal through the silence and time. It's a beautiful age, a quiet war you never take. I held you like a promise true, you never knew what I'd walk through. One-sided love is soft and rough, too much heart, not enough touch. You look for love in skies above, well I stood crying right in front of us. You never meant to break my chest, but I kept giving all the rest. You said you're sweet, you called me kind, but never once asked what's on my mind. I waited for the smallest sign, a glance, a word to make you mine. But love don't beg and hearts don't lie. You were his and I knew why. Wasn't the story you were writing just the hand that held your pen? You needed healing, I became a wound that bled again and again. One-sided love, it still feels real, even if it's all I'll ever feel. You lived in me like holy fire, but burn away with no desire. One-sided love, decided love, the silent kind that breaks the heart but not the spine. I let you go without a show, that's how it ends. This one-sided love. Maybe love was never ours to keep, but I still lose sleep over one-sided love. I loved you in silence, louder than words. You never knew, but my heart still hurts. You smiled like I was just a friend, but I was breaking. And again, and again. You called me when your nights felt long. I stayed and held your pain like song. I knew I'd never be your choice, still I trembled at your voice. You talked about him like he was gold, and I just listened, stayed composed. But every time you turn away, a piece of me began to fade. I was the one who knew your fears, I saw the truth behind your tears. You needed love, and so did I, but only one of us ever tried. One-sided love, it's quiet and deep, a fire that burns when no one can see. You held his hand, I held my breath, and smiled while dying underneath. One-sided love, a lonely grace, giving you all with no embrace. I gave you more than just enough, but you were never mine to love. I memorized the way you laugh, wrote it down in songs and drafts. You gave me glances, half a smile, and I stayed hoping all the while that maybe someday you'd feel this too, that maybe love could lead to you. But love don't bloom from empty soil, and hearts like mine, they bruise and toil. It was never your fault, you never promised, but I built a world from moments you forgot, like sleep. One-sided love, it tore me down, still I choose you every round. You'll never know what it costs to trust, but I love to love, even if it was just a one-sided love.
I gave you everything, but you were never mine. Held on too tight, me to a divisible line. Loved you like breath, like rain, like light. You loved me quiet, then left me night. You called me late when your heart felt cold. Told me secrets you never told. I listened close, held every word, but you never asked if I was hurt. You smiled at me like I was peace, but only stayed till your chaos ceased. I was the silence behind your flame. You were the spark, never knew my name. I stayed when I should've walked away, but love don't listen when the heart wants to stay. You gave me pieces, I gave you hope, and called it love when it emptied my soul. One-sided love, it's a lonely high, like waiting for sun in a stormy sky. I gave you more than I could afford. You gave me silence I couldn't ignore. One-sided love, it's the sweetest thing, to want someone with all you bring. And though you never felt enough, I still drown in this one-sided love. You said you're kind and I held that tight. Wrote your name in every night. You laughed for him, cried for me, but never looked close enough to see. I played your favorite songs, stayed awake, loved you through every move you fake. And I would've stayed for a lifetime more if you had just opened the door. I don't blame you for not feeling it, I just wish you saw it for what it was. You needed someone who saw you whole, but I needed someone who saw me too. One-sided love, it hurts to breathe, to give your all and still not be seen. I held you close in dreams so deep, while you kissed your sleep. One-sided, baby, love was never fair, but I was always there. If I had to do it all again, I'd still choose you, gonna choose you, even if it ends in one-sided love.
The sky loves the stars, from so far away, from behind my scars. You never saw the way I bled, smiling while you loved him instead. You looked at me like I was home, but never stayed, just passed alone. I caught your tears, I caught your fall. You never noticed me at all. I learned the language of your pain, but never spoke it back again. You loved someone who left you bare, while I was always standing there. I hope that someday you'd feel it too, but I was always just someone who knew. I held your world inside my hands, but you were dreaming of other plans. One-sided love, it's a quiet storm, a fire that burns but never warms. I gave my all, I held on tight. You never saw me in that light. One-sided love, I broke in two, still pretending I'm okay with you. And I don't blame you, it's just tough living in this one-sided love. You smiled at me like I was kind, while I was screaming in my mind. You never kissed
kiss me, but I felt you close. In every word and every ghost, I saw forever in your eyes. You only saw a friend in mine. It's not your fault you didn't see. You were never meant for me. So glad that satisfied. Cover his always with a silent heart. I was the one who stayed behind. You moved ahead, I pressed rewind. One-sided love, it's cold, it's deep. It sings me songs I never sleep. You were the dream I couldn't touch. I loved you long, I loved too much. One-sided love, the sweetest pain. It hurts, but I would do it again. 'Cause even if you don't feel it now, I lived and died in one-sided love. You in silence, in shadows, in room. You were never were mine. I gave you all of me, but you never look back. Love you at forever, but you faded into black. Kept waiting on your voice, but silence always came. I loved you out loud, you never knew my name. You called me late on lonely nights. I held your pain, turned off my light. You cried for him, I stayed so still. 'Cause loving you was not my will, it was my need. You smiled like sun, I lived in rain, but wore a grin to hide the strain. Watched you chase someone who ran, while I just stood a better man. I was right there, just not enough. You needed fire, I gave you love. I held the world inside my chest. You held his name and left the rest. One-sided love, a beautiful way. I gave you my soul with every break. Loved you in ways I'll never say, while you look through me every day. One-sided love, I wanna say. One-sided love, it's quiet and loud, screaming your name inside a crowd. I lost myself trying to be enough for your one-sided love. You showed me parts of you so real, but never cared for how I feel. Your laugh, your eyes, your every move became the things I couldn't lose. I watched you glow and he walked near, while I just whispered, stuck in fear. You never lied, but truth can sting. You just never felt a thing. Maybe I was meant to love you silently, to be the one who understood, not the one who stood beside you. And that's okay, but God, it hurts. I was the given one, just like one-sided love, like chasing the air. I gave you my heart, you weren't even there. I lit a flame in every word you never saw, never heard. One-sided love, I gave my best. You gave me silence, nothing left. No, I was never what you dreamed of. I still believe from far away. One-sided love, but I stayed anyway.
I gave you skies, you never saw the stars. Loved you loud, but you heard silence in my heart. I reached for you like the tide to the moon, but you never reached back. You left me too soon. You said you're sweet with that gentle smile, but I was holding on for miles and miles. Your eyes were elsewhere, your heart not here, but I stayed close just to feel you near. Shared your dreams, heard your pain, but mine was quiet, soaked in rain. You laughed with him while I stayed true. You loved him loud while I broke for you. And I kept hoping, like fools do, that someday you'd see me too. But you were never looking down. I was just the one who stayed around. One-sided love, it's a lonely fight, like kissing a ghost in the dead of night. I held your name like a sacred song, but I was right here and you must stay moved on. One is just the one still used on. One-sided love, a quiet war, giving my all while you wanted more. Though you never called it love, I still bled for us in this one-sided love. I remember the way you talked for hours while I memorized your laugh, your scars, your flowers. You told me secrets like I was safe, but never once asked how my heart breaks. You needed comfort, I gave you mine, but I see the shadow every time. Now I'm just a name you won't recall, but God, you were my everything, my all. I don't hate you, you never asked for love like mine, but I gave it anyway. Oh, and maybe that's my crime. One-sided love, a fire that burned. With every glance my soul just yearned. I was the heart that beat alone. You were the dream I couldn't know. One-sided love still haunts me. You were the lock I threw the key. And maybe you'll never know what it was, but I loved you hard with a one-sided love. You were never mine, but I was always yours.
One-sided love, could have you on the head, you were never mine. Why had you known the third was mother? Don't privilege you for two, fully out. One-sided love, and I'm still on your side. Waiting now, I tell you, never know I'd wait. Every laugh you gave just wasted fate. I was your comfort, your safe place to land, but not the one you'd ever hold hand in hand. I saw forever in your eyes. You just saw someone who was nice. And while you danced beneath the stars, I stood alone behind my scars. One-sided love, it's tearing me apart. You gave me your part. I loved you in silence, I loved you too much, but you never looked back, never felt my touch. You were my morning and night, but I was just
taught me life when things went wrong, but not to love me, just to feel strong. Since teasing me out of sleep, you I love is left to me to do, someone to show. You woke up me, I don't leave another in the room. His love so hours so still, and never could do. You seem to be first, so